Well, hello, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am tired, but hey, I'm 32. Kind of comes with the contract. Anyway, I hope you saw the last video of me reacting to the new DC slate that James Gunn presented. Now we're about to look at the DC slate breakdown by new RockStars, pretty much the GOATs of breakdowns. And let's not waste any time because I am so curious on what these stories are going to be, who they are, new character-wise, and where they're going. You ready? Also, hit that like button for me. Please. Help the channel out. Okay? Let's hit it. Sound.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and DC films once again have a future, one finally shared with us by James Gunn, and every fanboy who prefers his DC movies in high contrast IMAX 4 hours long is cocking his arms Henry Cavill style, because some folks got a big day of hot take typing ahead of them.
Yes,
big announcements like a Superman Legacy film coming July 2025, a new DCU Batman with Damian Wayne Robin in a Brave and the Bold film, but also a Robert Pattinson Batman sequel, then a Green Lantern True Detective HBO series, and then more series like Waller, Booster Gold, Paradise Lost, and more films like a Wildstorm movie, The Authority, Supergirl, Swamp Thing. This is the biggest update in DC movies that we've gotten in years, and I, for one, am relieved to see some plan, albeit one that I think we're all gonna have to give some benefit of the doubt to, and I think James Gunn gets that. I'm gonna break down everything we learned and what it means for the future of comic book media, my general thoughts on this plan, and what parts of it I'm a little worried about, and a reminder to subscribe to our new channel, The Deep Dive, launching February 17th, where I will be going deeper into analyzing films, not just Marvel stuff. I'm gonna look at all films with a more investigatory focus, kind of the classic New Rockstars stuff, but like more obsessed. I really think you're gonna love it. Okay, so James Gunn released a video that went through his entire plan. He also did like a meeting with the press yesterday. He said that he and Peter's goal is to connect everything, that in the past all the DC titles were kind of interconnected and fans didn't really understand how things connected to each other and what narrative implications to really take seriously. So going forward, they're gonna have a very clear DC universe, but also titles outside of that universe that they're going to firmly establish as DC Elseworlds. DC Elseworlds will include the Matt Reeves Batman films and the Todd Phillips Joker films. This year, 2023, the 4 planned DC movies will still come out. Shazam! Fury of the Gods coming March 17th, The Flash is still coming June 16th, Blue Beetle is coming August 18th, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is coming December 25th. Now,
I didn't realize we have 4 DC movies coming out this year. Oh my god, that's a lot.
Reminder, this is going to be a follow-up to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film. This one's going to be co-starring Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, and it's been described as a musical. We've also seen some early images for it. I don't know what this movie's going to be, but I'm very excited for it. We've also confirmed to get a sequel to the Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves, The Batman. They're going to get at least one more of these movies, and it's going to be released on October 3rd, 2025. Currently titled The Batman Part 2. Okay, so the new slate of James Gunn and Peter Safran's vision for the new DC titles going forward beyond that. They've called it Gods and Monsters, and this is really chapter 1, or their phase 1 of their plan. And James Gunn said that the following titles are not the entirety of this chapter 1 Gods and Monsters section. Okay, first title, Creature Commandos. This is gonna be an animated 7-episode series that James Gunn has written. It's already in production. This is like a team of classic monsters assembled to fight Nazis, but this is gonna be a modern take on the concept. But the key here is that James Gunn wants the characters to move in and out of animation with the same actors doing the voices as we'll see in live action. This is similar to what Marvel's approach has been in What If. Okay, the next title is an Amanda Waller show, a spin-off of Peacemaker. Viola Davis is returning. It's going to be written by Crystal Henry, who worked on Watchmen on HBO, and Jeremy Carter.
I'm glad they're keeping her though.
TV series. And I think it'll be good.
Viola Davis is like the only one that can play Amanda Waller.
That we saw in past DC films, including both Suicide Squad movies, what James Gunn did in Peacemaker, and even recently with Black Adam. Okay, next is what James Gunn said will be the true beginning of the DCU, Superman Legacy. This is the Superman film that James Gunn is writing, and he may direct, but we don't know that for sure yet. Safran said it's not going to be an origin story. It will focus on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing, how he is the embodiment of true justice in the American way, and that he is a kindness in a world that thinks that kindness is old-fashioned.
If only there was a movie or a show, or maybe, I don't know, multiple shows that already showed that. Yes, it's not an origin story, but we know how he gets here. Anyway.
It will release July 11th, 2025. They reminded everyone that Henry Cavill will not return to play the Man of Steel, but they have not announced who the new Kal-El will be. Yeah, as you can see, the details are pretty light on this one, but they're seeming to touch on really the classic themes of what people expect from a Superman story. Really, this sounds like the story that I wanted Man of Steel 2 to be, because Man of Steel ended with Clark's first day on the job at the Daily Planet, and the next time we saw him, he was going to war with Bruce Wayne. We never really got that Act 2 good stuff about Superman. So I'm excited to live with the day-to-dayness of what Kal-El goes through, but I'll admit, I will really miss Henry Cavill in this role. I'm excited to see who they cast though. Okay, next big announcement, Lanterns. This will be an HBO series in which Gunn and Safran have described as a true detective style series, calling it terrestrial based. It's gonna feature a team up between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and Gunn says it's gonna bring in other Lanterns who watch over Earth as kind of their precinct, and they discover, quote, a terrifying secret that will tie into the broader narrative that connects all DC films, which makes me wonder, what is the terrifying secret they discover on Earth? We've already seen the anti-life equation in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it sounds like it's something related to that. When it comes to the DC HBO things, you really see them doing other formats that have been successful in HBO, like True Detective, like Game of Thrones, and finding DC versions of that. Now, another movie will be coming out, a fascinating title I'm really curious to see what they do with, The Authority. This is gonna be based on the Wildstorm characters. This is a team of superheroes who go to the extremes to protect the planet by any means necessary. This is part of the 90s Jim Lee run. Gunn said one of the things of the DCU is that it's not just a story of heroes and villains. Not every film and TV show is going to be about a good guy versus bad guy. Giant things from the sky comes, the good guy wins. There are white hats, black hats, and gray hats. And Safran said they are kind of like Jack Nicholson and A Few Good Men. They know you want them on the wall, or at least they believe that. Now the image we see shows the original lineup of the Wildstorm Authority characters. The winged character is Swift. That's a Tibetan woman who possesses wings and sharp talons. The guy in the tunic and turtleneck is the Doctor, a Dutch drug addict and shaman who possesses the combined powers of the hundreds of shamans who came before him. Down in the front, the badass there is Midnighter. He's a bioengineered Batman pastiche who possesses the ability to foresee his opponent's moves in combat. Very cool guy. Contrastingly, the solar fella up above him is Apollo, a bioengineered Superman pastiche. The Union Jack lady up front is Jenny Sparks, a British woman who can generate and turn into electricity. To the right of her is the engineer, a scientist who had replaced her blood with 9 pints of nanotechnology and could recreate solid objects with it. And then up above her is Jack Hawksmoor, who psychically bonds to cities to communicate with them and receive powers from them. Yeah, it's a really, really weird lineup. I see why James Gunn considers this a passion project. I would say expect something like the misfit toys of the Suicide Squad with some of the social commentary of the boys, but there's more of an earnestness to this group that I'm really excited to see play out. I'm just really surprised they're doing this as a movie. Okay, another HBO series, Paradise Lost. It's going to be a Game of Thrones style drama set on Themyscira. That's Wonder Woman's birthplace, aka Paradise Island. They promise political intrigue, scheming between power players. This is going to be taking place long before the events of the Wonder Woman films. As someone who loves drama between queen versus queen, princess versus princess, from shows like House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, I'm really excited for this series. Okay, another huge important movie, the introduction of the DCU Batman, The Brave and the Bold, in which Bruce Wayne will team up with Damian Wayne, whom James Gunn called a little son of a bitch. This is going to be from the Grant Morrison run that introduced Batman to a son he never knew existed. And Damian Wayne is a little murderous tween who's been raised by assassins. It's going to be a strange father-son story. This is going to be the beginning of the Bat family in the DC universe. And a reminder, this will not be Robert Pattinson. It's going to be a new Batman whom they have not announced yet. But having a Batman and Robin story in the DCU, I think will be a good contrast to the Robert Pattinson loner Batman that we see in the Matt Reeves side of the universe, in the Elseworlds. Okay, another HBO Max series, Booster Gold. Booster Gold is hilarious. He's one of the lower tier losers from the 80s. He's a loser from the future.
A lot of people are saying Chris Pratt might be that.
To come back to today and to pretend to be a superhero. He's got major imposter syndrome. He's a fascinating character, and I hope they get Anthony Starr to play him. Okay, another film, Supergirl.
Anthony Starr will be great if he wasn't so good in The Boys. But I keep seeing articles that James Gunn is not afraid to grab MCU actors and put them in the DCU. Booster Gold and Chris Pratt have been one of those people. I don't know if people are going to like that. I mean, he already has a pretty good, tie-in with the Guardians. And also, that's up to Chris. Is he going to want to be in another franchise like this again? He's been doing Marvel forever. Does he want to do DC now? Plus, if he's one of those, D-list characters, what good is Booster Gold going to be in the future? Who knows? I've seen many versions of Booster Gold in media, but Chris Pratt as Booster Gold will definitely be an interesting look.
A Woman of Tomorrow. James Gunn said it's going to be based on the Tom King written miniseries, a very different take than what most would think of with the character. Really, they're going to highlight the contrast between Superman, who was sent to Earth, raised by loving parents in Kansas, but Supergirl was raised on a rock. Just a chunk from Krypton after it exploded, had to watch everyone around her die, be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then come to Earth. What does that do to a person? So again, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, that's gonna be a movie. Also a movie, Swamp Thing, a horror film. That's gonna close out the first part of the chapter. And James Gunn has made clear it will be one of these Elseworlds stories, which I'm actually excited by because it'll give it more bandwidth to be even weirder and crazy and scary. Now, reminder, the Ezra Miller Flash movie is still coming, and they acknowledge the drama around Ezra Miller. Safran said, Ezra is completely committed to their recovery. We are fully supportive of that journey they are on right now. When the time is right, when they are ready to have that discussion, we will all figure out the best path forward. But right now, they are completely focused on their recovery, and in our conversation with them in the last couple months, it feels like they are making enormous progress. Okay, and then on the recent Zachary Levi Pfizer tweet, James Gunn said, actors, filmmakers that I work with are going to say things that I agree with and things that I don't agree with. I can't be changing my plans all the time because an actor says something that I don't agree with. At the same token, if someone is doing something that is morally reprehensible, that's a different story, and we have to take that into account. Okay, now to all this, James Gunn just acknowledges the DC history past, that really no one was minding the mint. They were giving away IP like they were party favors at any creator who smiled at them. He threw some shade at past Warner Brothers and DC execs for mishandling things with Henry Cavill, but his goal is to just give a transparent plan as he moves forward and make it clear what stuff connects and what stuff doesn't. And I gotta say, I'm optimistic about this plan. I don't know if all these titles will work. I don't know if any of these titles will get canceled or not. What I like about James Gunn, what I've always liked about James Gunn, is his transparency with the fans. This guy is always on Twitter shooting down theories when they don't make sense, calling out news sites when they print crazy headlines that are just factually wrong. He understands at this point that there's expectation management you have to do with the fan base to keep them on board. This is something that not all other big genre franchise heads know how to do. I like Kevin Feige, but that guy is a man behind the curtain, so the fact that James Gunn's willing to come out here and make some difficult choices, even stuff that he knows huge sections of the fan base will be really pissed off at him for, I think is necessary steps that we have to take. Of these titles, I think the one I'm most excited for is Lanterns. I think a Hal Jordan, John Stewart team up is going to be awesome. I think doing the Green Lantern Corps as a serial detective story, rather than trying to fit in all that mythology in one movie, I think this is definitely the way to go. I think it's still too early for me to form any opinions about Superman Legacy or The Brave and the Bold. I feel like I'll have more of an opinion when they announce directors for these titles and lead actors to play these roles. But I am glad to know a Superman movie is back on the schedule, and will focus on the time of Superman's life that I feel like modern movies haven't really shown us enough of. But I want to know your thoughts on all this. Again, I think we should all do our best to keep an open mind about this, and it's just nice to know that we have a future again, and that future is being crafted by genuine nerds who have proven themselves with a good track record of films and TV. Hey, a reminder to subscribe to The Deep Dive. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss. Follow New RockStars and subscribe to New RockStars for more analysis of everything you love. People. Thanks for watching. Bye.
They are the GOATs. Yeah, I definitely agree. These guys have a good resume when it comes to, you know, the things that they've done. And like I said, and he said, it's like, I can't automatically be critical about things just yet until I hear directors, until I hear actors, until I see trailers. After that, then I will know where they're going. And if I like where they're going, and if I see that there is an actual interconnection, then I'll be on board. I'm not going to be one of those toxic fanboys that are going to be just, you know, going down their throats, pause, and constantly try to, you know, feed for attention and be like, nah, this ain't it. No. Like he said, keep an open mind. That's all we got to do, because like he said, it's way too early to predict anything. So until I see trailers, until I see who's portraying who, and see who the directors are, right now I'm fair game. Let me know what you think in the comment section on how you think this Chapter 1 slate or Phase 1 slate is going to go down. Pretty sure they're not trying to be like Marvel, so Chapter 1 it is. And do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. 1,000, 2023, that's the goal, all right? It's free 99, you can do it, I believe in you. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell That way you know next time I post. Okay? So, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, stay gold.